Greetings, everyone. Monday evening edition of Weather for Weather Geeks here on November the 9th. We had a nice one today. A cold start. The frost was really thick this morning with temperatures in the mid-20s at the airport. 26 was our coldest temperature at the Youngstown Warren Airport since April 1st, so it's been a long time, over 7 months, since we've had a reading that cold. But the recovery was nice today. We got back into the middle and upper 50s, 58, the official high this afternoon. Well, the price for the nice day today is a not-so-nice day coming up for tomorrow. Here's the radar as of about 7:30 p.m. Our system's pushing north. The rain's kind of in two separate sections here. Kind of your main batch here, then a secondary batch here. I would expect the radar to fill in between as we go through the overnight tonight. So it's going to turn out to be a rainy night, and I'll show you the computer model. The models, that is, in just a second. Elsewhere across the country today, most of the unsettled weather is out west, where it's going to be a very active pattern coming up over the next couple of weeks. I mentioned we hit the upper 50s today. This map overall looks fairly typical for November. A little above average in a lot of places maybe, but certainly some chilly air in southwest Canada and heading into the northwestern part of the U.S. All right, let's focus on the near term, and we'll bring up our HRRR, High Resolution Rapid Refresh model, and we'll show you what the radar will look like as we go through the night. Now, most of this will occur when most of us are in bed. But if you happen to be out and about late tonight, here's a look at 10 p.m., 11 p.m., and then midnight. Rain pushing in. It's going to be pretty light at first. Heavier, steadier stuff out across western Ohio at the onset, right around midnight. But as we get into the wee hours of the morning, here's 3 a.m., raining. What you see is what you get here, folks. As we get into tomorrow morning, then, when most people are getting up, it's going to be raining probably a little bit harder. So not very nice out. This is at 6 o'clock in the morning. Pretty good soaker out there to kick off our Tuesday, and by 8 a.m. 8 a.m. kind of the same idea with rain at a pretty decent intensity across the region. Now, as we get into tomorrow afternoon, I think the rain will become more scattered or hit or miss. Here's tomorrow at 1 p.m. The steady rain pushing east. Maybe there's a shower or two, kind of damp and just kind of raw for the afternoon tomorrow. But again, the steadiest of the rain will have occurred earlier on in the day. Models are kind of honing in now on an average of about 3/4 of an inch to an inch worth of rain out of this. So this will be a pretty good dump of rain, particularly right around daybreak or just before daybreak tomorrow morning. Canadian models, that blue line at the top, it's a little out to lunch probably with showing an inch and a half, but the European, the GFS, the NAM, and our in-house what's called the RPM, right around 3/4 of an inch to an inch worth of rain, what those models are showing. All right, so as we go towards the second half of the week then, our attention will be turning towards a strengthening system ejecting out of the plain states. I'm going to fast forward to Wednesday. On Wednesday afternoon, let me show you the ISO bars here. We have a strengthening low out across the middle of the country. This looks like a springtime map. Well, oftentimes there's a secondary severe weather season in the fall across parts of the country, specifically in November, as the colder air masses start interacting and trying to win battles with the residual warmth. This is one of those situations. So we're going to have showers and storms Wednesday out across parts of the plain states. And actually, the Storm Prediction Center does have a moderate risk, or an enhanced risk. Actually, no, it is moderate. Moderate risk. Elevated risk, if you will. They use a lot of different terms, but this orange area is where the highest risk is. From Kansas City to St. Louis and heading over towards Paducah, Cape Girardeau, heading down towards Arkansas as well. You notice our region is not in any sort of thunderstorm risk Wednesday. Wednesday will be a nice day here. But we will deal with this system as we go into Thursday, but thankfully in a weakened state. So we're not real concerned about any severe weather here. We will get showers, though. So here's Thursday morning, our strong low pushing up through the Great Lakes, and a windy day. There'll be showers around, particularly early in the day Thursday. By the afternoon, a lot of the most consistent showers are well off to the east, but there could be some backlash sprinkles or showers Thursday afternoon or evening. But I think the wettest part of Thursday is pretty early on. And there's going to be some pretty good wind with this. Let's bring up the GFS wind speeds here during the afternoon. The scale is off your screen, but once you're into the greens here, those are sustained winds of 25 to 40 miles per hour with some higher gusts. Around here, I think we could see a 40-mile-per-hour gust with sustained winds, maybe 20 to 30 during the windiest part of the day on Thursday. So that's going to be a wind-whipped kind of a day. Again, most of the rain's early on. Now, by Friday, we're still probably dealing with some wind. Notice there's snow showers here on Friday up across Michigan and into Wisconsin. And the isobars are still packed together here on Friday, so I think there's still going to be some wind to contend with on Friday the 13th, appropriately enough. Do we see any precipitation Friday? Well, I think towards the end of the day there is the chance. Now you'll notice the GFS actually has some blue trying to sneak down into northeast Ohio. I think that's probably a little too fast with the cold air. But could there be a rain shower or a sprinkle late Friday? Sure. And then overnight, Friday night and early Saturday, I think there could be some flurries here and there, particularly north of I-80. Not going to stick, but you could see that. And as we look ahead to the weekend then, here's a look at Saturday's map. The GFS has some late precipitation here. I think Saturday is a pretty cloudy day. Maybe some late day sun, and there could be a flurry early and maybe a rain shower in the afternoon. Better half of the weekend is coming up on Sunday. Here's Sunday's map. That looks better. All the precipitation's gone, high pressure off to our south. As far as the longer range, here's the upper level pattern as we go through time, and you're going to notice something here that, I've been preaching now for a while. You can see chilly days. It's November after all, but the pattern will not support any sort of sustained cold. It's not a pattern that's going to support 4 or 5 days with highs in the 30s and lower 40s. It's just not that kind of pattern. So here we go through time. Big western trough right now will come out into the plains. That's what causes the severe weather on Wednesday and causes our cool down behind our system for Friday and Saturday. That's a chilly looking map here on Friday. Probably no higher than the mid 40s by Saturday. But again, this is in and out. It's just here for a couple of days. By Sunday, we're already back to probably a little above average. And then here's Sunday's map, and notice the ridge building over the Great Lakes again early next week. Here's Monday. Nice looking pattern here with a trough off the west coast and a ridge poking up through the Great Lakes. We'll get above average easily first half of next week. In the longer range, the GFS ensemble here does not suggest any sort of trough setting up shop for any extended period of time over the east. The west is going to be stormy. And this is good news as long as it's not too heavy, the rain for California. They really need it. They need the snow in the mountains. They don't want it all at one time, though. So, the moral of the story here in the longer range is, sure, there can be the occasional chilly day or even 2 days in a row, but not looking at any sort of sustained cold pattern for this November. And that goes along with our November forecast that we issued a couple of weeks ago now, that November is likely to be an above average month, perhaps by a sizable margin. December may very well turn out to be just about the same. Thank you for watching the Monday Night Weather for Weather Geeks. I'll have you covered tonight with radars and the 7-day and everything else on 21 News at 11. Have a great night.